Ages ago, my girlfriend used to do a lot of babysitting jobs. And a lot of times I would go and just join her there, you know. Sometimes she would tell the parents, sometimes not, but it's boring and she didn't want to be alone. It just helps the time go by quicker. And so yeah, she would just like do these random jobs. Started off by helping family and friends, and then eventually she would take like more jobs, looking at ads and stuff like that. So one day she calls me, she's like, "Hey, I found a new babysitting job." She was kind of, it sounded a little weird. She's like, "Hey, it's like it pays a lot though. Like it's a little sus, as you would say. You know, it's like $500 for the babysitting job." I'm like, "Okay, it's definitely a scam, right? There's no way it's legit." And she's like, "Oh, I don't know. Let me." She saw the ad, she hadn't replied. She's like, "Let me just try it out. Let me see what the parents say, whatever." And so she sends them an email. I think it was like some online ad, Kijiji or Craigslist or whatever. And like, she's like, "Let me just try it out, whatever." So she sends an email off, and like the ad was very basic, like responsible adult needed, 5 hours of babysitting, pays $500 cash, and like something like that. So she emails them. She didn't even think she'd get a reply, but then she gets a reply, right? She calls me up again. She's like, "Hey, like they replied, but it was just like so basic and kind of creepy. It's just says to watch their kid. The kid's name is Marcus. Watch them from 7 till 12, like midnight, and then 5 hours, $500. It's like cash, And she's like, I mean, she felt a little off, but she's like, "You just come with me. You'll come with me. We'll go there. It should be okay." And the parents have no issue with you being there. It's just 5 hours, and I'm like, "All right, whatever." It's not like what's gonna happen. It's just a kid. So we go there. It was on a Saturday night. We drive there, and it was kind of out in the suburbs, random street, like this small little cul-de-sac, like very average, basic area, man. And the houses were all normal, like very like those same old, like all the houses look the same, the streets look the same, everything's the same. And it was kind of darkish. We get there, it's like 7 o'clock. It's like you know, there's no like, there's kind of like a dark street. It just looked eerie. The house looked kind of plain. It looked like there were like dim lights inside, but it had like an eerie look. Just like one of those classic eerie houses. You just get that weird feeling. It didn't help that the ad was like so weird and mysterious too. So we get there, I park the car in the street. We go knock on the door. There's the parents, right? Like they just answer the door. Normal couple. They look normal. Mom and dad just standing there, dressed normally, smiling. Just something with the smile was creeping me out. Like, and my girlfriend agreed to. Like, something with the smile was just off. Like, I don't know. It just looked weird. It's like it looked fake, like forced. When you're trying to smile and your grin is a little too big, a little too wide. Just something threw me off with that. But super friendly. I'm like, whatever. We get inside. They're like, "Oh, Marcus is upstairs. He's in the bedroom. He keeps to himself. He doesn't talk much. Shy little kid. This and that." And we're like, "Okay, cool." She's like, "Just make yourselves at home. Couch. This and that." And she's like, just like it was just a weird feeling. She's like, the house felt creepy and dim. Like I hate those kind of dim lights. Like I don't know if they're old lights. Like everyone's got bright LEDs now. Like why is it so dim? Why is it so dark? It's like I don't even think it was a dimmer. Like you know what I mean? Like the lights just didn't seem strong. Like it's like they're using those 40-watt bulbs, like those lighter, powerful. I mean, who knows? Maybe they're trying to save money. And I'm like, okay, whatever. So they're just like, "Yeah, we'll be back after 12 o'clock. Make sure you don't answer the door for anyone." And we're like, like obviously, why would we answer the door for anyone? Like I didn't even say anything. I'm like, "Okay, yeah, sure. We're just gonna sit and watch TV." And they're like, "Okay," and then like it was like so quick. I was like, "Okay, bye," and then they just left. Right? He had already eaten dinner. Like we didn't have to do anything. Like they even said he pretty much goes to bed. He puts himself to bed pretty much. Right? We're like, okay, like it's gonna be like the easiest job ever. And I think my girlfriend even just kind of she was again curious. She's like I think she quickly double checked. Like, "Oh, it's $500." Like you're actually it's a $500. She's like, "Yeah, yeah, no problem, $500." And then they leave. Close the door. They locked it from the outside, and just click, door locks. And I'm like, we're standing there looking at each other, like, okay, this is kind of weird. It was like a small house, not too big, and we just looked at each other, like kind of like awkward laugh. And she's like, "We better check on Marcus." So we go up the stairs. You know, so creepy, like creaking stairs, old, staircase. Walk up, and like there's like I think there were like 3 bedrooms upstairs, 2 or 3 bedrooms, and Marcus is in his room, and like the door is kind of slightly propped open, and my girlfriend walks in, kind of slowly pushes the door open, and trying to be friendly, polite. He's just sitting there, cross-legged, staring right at us, and she says, "Hi, we're your babysitters. We're gonna here for the night." he just stares at her, like, kinda creepy too. She's like, "Okay," and he just looks at her, he's like, "Are they real?" And I'm like, "What? What do you is who real?" She's like, "The people. Are the people real?" Like, it's just weird, like, it's a small kid, right? Like, maybe 7 or 8 years old, like, it was confusing. She just kinda laughed, and he's like he said something like, "I don't think they're always real." And I'm like, "Okay." I'm like, "Well, where did you hear that?" And he kind of just points to the window and says, "The other Marcus told me." And we just kinda well, we both freaked out. Like, I had goosebumps. I'm like it was, like, so freaky hearing that, like, what the other Marcus, what the hell does that mean? I'm like, "What?" She's like, "Who?" And the other Marcus, and he's pointing to a window, just staring at it. He's like, "When the window's open, that's when he comes." And we're like she freaked out. She just my girlfriend ran to the window, just kinda shut the curtains, and she's like, "Okay, yeah, yeah, okay, don't worry about that." And, like, I got these days, kids, you never know all the crap they're watching on YouTube and this and that. Like, you have no idea what the hell they're watching. You don't know. Like, it sounded creepy. Like, is this kid making stories up? Is vivid imagination or what? And it's funny because it made me think of that Simpsons episode where Bart Simpson has it's like one of those old Treehouse of Horrors. Bart Simpson has like a twin in the basement, but everyone's been hiding him for years or something. Like it was like that's the first thing that popped into my mind. I told my girlfriend too, like laughing at it. We're like, okay, that's like exactly like the Simpsons, like the evil Bart or whatever it was called. It was pretty funny. That was a good episode. So we're like, oh, whatever, man. So we're like, we just like asked him if he wanted to come downstairs. Like, you want to come downstairs? And he's like, no, I'm okay. And he's just staring, like he's just sitting there. And like he had some, scattered toys and this and that. He had a coloring book. And she's like, why don't you do some coloring? And he just kind of nodded his head slowly, like kind of agreeing. I'm like, okay. And so we're just like, okay, whatever. She chuckled, looked at me, and we're like, okay. And we're like, we'll be downstairs. And he didn't say anything. So we just walked back downstairs. We're sitting on our couch, and I take out my phone, and like right away, creepy, no signal, right? Like, I'm like, "What the hell?" I'm like, "Do you have signal?" She looks at her phone, like, no signal or, like, very weak signal. I'm like, "It's not like we're in the middle of nowhere." And I mean, I know it's a little bit out of town, like, not that much out of town, but it's like, we've never had issues with signal before, but I'm like, "Whatever." I'm like, "There's 2 of us, we're fine." And so, you get that, like, back of your mind, you kinda start feeling a little creepy and creeped out and this and that, and I'm like, "Whatever." We're, like, talking. We just spent a lot of time talking for a while. It was, like, maybe, like, half an hour and an hour. We didn't even there was a TV to watch, but we didn't watch it. We're just sitting there looking at each other, talking random crap, and then 8 o'clock, I think it was around 8, this is where it started getting creepy, and we freaked out because there's, like, a knock on the door, and, it's like a man's voice. It sounded like the dad, and just a loud knock, just, like, suddenly a big knock on the door, and we're just, like we kinda got up slowly, both at the same time, and suddenly we hear the dad. He's like, "Hey, it's me. I just forgot something. Let me in." And so we kinda walked towards the door, and then we kinda stopped. We heard a noise, like, we kinda looked towards the stairs, and there's Marcus. He's, like, halfway down the stairs. He's shaking. He's shaking, and he's clutching the railing, shaking, like, freaking out, like, "What the hell?" His eyes are wide. He's looking right at the door, and, like, my girlfriend gets close to the door, like, wanting to open it. He's like he just whispers to her. He's like, "That's not them." Like, we're like, "What?" We're like he's like, "That's not them." So my girlfriend kinda goes closer to the door and, like, looks out through the what do you call it? The peephole, whatever, to see who it is, And she told me, like, it looked just like the dad, but something was off, like, something freaky, like, he looked different, like, he was like, his face looked waxy, like, pale, like, and there was nobody else in sight, no mom, no car, like, he's just a man standing there, like, glazy-eyed, like, staring and, like, just staring at the door, like, freaky. She turned back to Marcus, she's like, "Well, what do you mean, Marcus?" And he couldn't even tell, he's just, like, almost, like, whimpering, he's just staring, big-eyed, like, freaking out, like, I've never seen a kid so scared. I'm like, "What the hell?" She turns around again to look outside, she's about to ask, like, "What's wrong? Who is this?" Whatever. The guy's gone, like, the dad's not there anymore. Like, we freaked out, like, "What the hell?" Like, at that point, she's, like, looking and looking, and went to the side window, looked, there's nothing outside, and we're, like, freaking out. It's, like, I don't know, 8:30, he's like we're like, "What the hell?" Like, the boy, like, "Who was that?" Like, we asked Marcus, he's like, this kid, like, he doesn't even say anything. He's just, like, staring at us. We're staring at him. Like, I'm like, "Okay, this is freaky, man." Like, we've got no signal on the phone. We thought about leaving. Like, should we leave? Like, where are we gonna go? Like, what? You can't even call the authorities. Like, it's a little. She's like freaking out, and she's like, just let's just ignore it. Whatever. The door's locked. We're safe. We're inside. I don't know what the hell that was. She got so freaked out. So we go back into the living room. Marcus joins us. He's more scared now. He's actually sitting on the floor and he's coloring. He's just coloring with him. We're like, we keep trying our phones. We're like looking around. There's no phone in this house. Like we're like, everyone has cell phones these days. Nobody has a phone. We're like looking. We walked around a bit looking, and like there's no cell phone anywhere. And I'm like, okay, this is weird. Not a cell phone, but like like a house phone, like a landline. Nobody even has landlines these days, anyways. So we asked Marcus, like, is there a phone? And he just kind of looked at us, kind of shook his head, like, no phone, or he kind of shrugged and looked like it's almost like he didn't understand the question or something. Like, this is a weird kid, These days, kids are all on like their tablets and TVs and computers and all that stuff. This kid looked like almost old school, It's like maybe the parents were very strict. We wondered if like they don't let him do anything, minimize his TV watching, like all the good parenting stuff, which is what you should be doing. Kids shouldn't be on their damn phones and tablets and obsessed with all the stupid technology. So we're just like, all right, this is a good kid, like smart and whatever. But like, we kept like freaking out about hello, like there was somebody at the door that like scared the shit out of us. Like, what the hell was that about? So we ignored it. As stupid as that may seem, we're just like, whatever, man. Let's just wait. So an hour goes by. And we hear footsteps upstairs, like a noise. It sounded like footsteps, like someone's walking, and I'm like, what the hell is that? And like Marcus is right next to it. He hasn't left yet. He's just sitting on the floor coloring. And so we hear like noises, almost like a giggle. I'm like, did you hear that? She's like, she couldn't really tell. I think I heard it better. And I'm like, something's upstairs. I heard something that sounded like footsteps. She said she heard that too. But like, I'm like, let's just go check it out. Like, there's two of us, grown ass people, like whatever. Like we're slowly walking up the stairs. The board's creaking. She didn't want to go alone. I didn't want to go alone. Honestly, I was like a little freaked out. I'm like, I'm not going alone. Let's just go together. So we're walking up the stairs. And we've turned all the lights on too because we were already freaked out. Like all the lights are on. Just that stupid dim light. Like the lights weren't like strong. They just felt like old incandescent lamp lights, whatever, like light bulbs. So we go upstairs and Marcus's room is like just slightly open. Like it's just ajar a little. And the light's off, but you can see like the moonlight shining in from like the outside. And I don't know, I think it was like 9 o'clock by now or something. I don't even remember. It was like getting later, and like she pushes the door slightly open. We're both standing there at the door, and there, sitting on the bed, is Marcus. Like he was just downstairs. He's just coloring downstairs, and yet there's like a Marcus upstairs, a second identical Marcus just sitting on the bed, staring at the window, like towards the window. We're like standing there frozen, goosebumps, and he just suddenly like he snaps his eyes towards us. Like he looks right at us, like dead center, like glazy, cold eyes, and we freaked out. My girlfriend just slammed the door, and we just ran back downstairs. Like we rushed back to the couch, like expecting Marcus not to be there, but he's there. He's just staring at us as we come down the stairs. We ran into the living room, and he looks at us. We look at him, and he just says, "Did you see him?" And we're just like, "What the fuck?" We're like, "What?" And he's just looking like, "You saw him. You saw him." And his eyes, his tears are slowly coming down his eyes, and he's just like, we're like, what's going? Like, stops talking. Like, he doesn't say anything else. He just goes back to his coloring. Like, what the fuck is going on? We're so freaked out. Like, we're frozen. We're frozen. We're just standing there, and then suddenly, boom, banging on the door. Marcus starts crying. Like he's visibly crying, like whimpering, not too loud, but he's like crying. He's like whimpering, crying, tears coming down his eyes, and banging on the door. And we're like, what the fuck is going on? Now suddenly, it's the mom. They're just banging like constant after just knock. We're like, then it gets louder and louder and banging. We're like, we can hear them screaming. It's like the mom and the dad, and they're like, let us in. He's dangerous, let us in. We're like freaking out. We're like, what the fuck? Like, I'm not going to the door. We grabbed Marcus and we ran into the kitchen. We're like, let's try to back. Well, I think I was looking for a back exit. I'm looking for another exit to get out the door. Like we're gonna run for it or something. And we go into the kitchen. Like we're standing in the kitchen. We're looking around frantically. And suddenly, that's when I see the fridge. It's like a nice fridge, like one of those modern fridges with like a glass door. And it's like, I stare at it and I see our reflection, but it's like barely like vivid. It's like hazy, kind of like, it's like when you're looking in a mirror, but not like a mirror, like a TV or something. It's like this, like it's reflective, but not that clear. And I see our reflection, but they're moving in this weird way. And like, it's me and my girlfriend, and there's Marcus and the reflection. And I see, we're like looking right at us, but we're like laughing, and we looked hazy and different and creepy, and like I'm like frozen. We're all frozen. Marcus is still crying, and like this image of me, this reflection of me starts walking towards the door of the fridge, and starts pushing on it. And he's smiling at me, and his teeth are sharp. He looks weird, like a freaking freaky monster twin of myself. And he's pushing with his hand. And suddenly the door starts cracking, and it's cracking, and it's like looks like it's gonna open, and we freak out. I'm like we're huddled together, like with this little kid who just keeps whimpering and crying, and this face is just staring at me with the hand pushing towards the door. And we huddled up. We fell to the ground. It's like we couldn't even handle it. We collapsed, and we're just like whimpering ourselves, almost like I could feel like my hair was on end. Like I was shaking. She's shaking. She's like freaking out. My girlfriend just keeps like, "What's going on? What's going on?" Like she was in shock. We were both in shock basically. And I kept staring at this image of myself at the fridge pushing out, and like suddenly I see a little crack, and like it's almost like the hand starting to come out of the fridge reflected. Like the oh my like it was oh my god, it was so freaky. I'm like I shut my eyes. I couldn't handle it. I'm like I closed my eyes. We're huddled there. The banging is at the door. That hasn't stopped. And like we hear like this weird giggling sound, almost like laughing from upstairs. And like it's just so loud suddenly. Like this quiet house went to this extreme noise of chaotic sounds, like banging on the door, giggling children or something from upstairs. This sound of cracking glass coming from this fridge door. Like it's like I could hear it cracking, like it was breaking open. I shut my eyes. I was so freaked out. We're just huddled there in the kitchen on the floor, like collapsed against the wall, shaking. And then suddenly it went dead quiet. Like just dead quiet. No noise from the door, no noise from upstairs, no cracking of glass. And I just opened my eyes slowly. Everything was normal. The fridge looked normal. I look at the oven, and it's just flashing midnight. It's flashing 12. It's like 12 on the dot. I'm like, okay, so what the fuck is going on? Like me and my girlfriend stood up. Marcus is there. He stopped crying. He looked normal. Almost looked like he had never been crying. I stand up. We stand up. Suddenly, right then, the front door just opens up, swings open. In come the parents. Like nothing's wrong. Nothing's happened. You know, they're dressed the same. They look normal. Same people. They walk right up into the living room. We meet them in the living room. We're just standing there. We're like, she's like, "Oh, hey, you guys did a great job." And we're back, and we're just staring at her. My girlfriend's like, "What the fuck is going on? What's wrong with this house? What's wrong with Marcus?" And she just looks at us, and the dad just kind of gently picks him up, like very casually. He's staring at us, the kids. Though Marcus is looking at us, and like dad just gently picks him up, like nothing's wrong. And the dad's like, "Oh, he's not our son." And we're just staring back, and he's like, "Oh, we lost Marcus years ago. This is just like these are just things that look like Marcus. There's these things we can't stop them from coming back. They just keep coming. All we can do is deal with them." And we're just like looking at each other, looking at them, and I just turned around and slowly walked towards the stairs, like, "Time for bed, Marcus." And we just walked to the door. The mom turns around, hands us the envelope. She's like, "Thank you." And we just stepped outside the front door, shaking, goosebumps, looking at each other, and the door just slams shut. The last thing I remember seeing is Marcus just staring at us, eyes wide, like just like ghost eyes, like nothing's wrong with the kid either, like this is all normal or something. And we're standing there in front of the house, door closed, like staring at each other, like what the fuck was that? And my girlfriend's holding the envelope. And I remember we just took each other's hands, we held each other, we just walked straight to the car. We didn't say a word to each other, got in, and we just drove home, like to her apartment. I'm just like, we didn't say a single word to each other. We were so shocked in the car, like pale, sweating still, like shivers, like I didn't know what to say. I don't even know what the hell happened. Like we drove home, we get into the apartment. It's like we were acting like it's like we wanted to forget, acting like nothing had just happened. And I walk into the kitchen. She was in the living room. She tossed the envelope on the coffee table. She didn't even check it. Like she was so freaked out. It was late. And we're just like, we just went to bed. It's like, it's past midnight. I was thinking it was 12:30, 12:45 or whatever. And we just like, it was so creepy. We didn't even talk. Like I swear, we literally did not even say a word to each other. We just went into bed, laid down, cuddled up, and went to sleep. That was it. It was just so freaky. And so in the morning, I wake up, and I woke up before her. It was like, I don't know, I can't even remember, maybe 7 o'clock in the morning. I wake up, and I go to the living room, and I see the envelope. It's in the coffee table there, and I go and I pick it up. I'm like, just to check it. I'm like, we didn't even check this money. Did we get ripped off? What did they actually pay us? I kind of turn the envelope over, and there's 5 crisp $100 bills, and I'm like, all right. I kind of take it out. I turn it around, but it's not a president's face staring back at me. It's my face. That exact same reflection from the fridge. My face with a giant grin, like a big crazy grin with a bunch of sharp teeth, staring right at me, smiling. And I just freaked out. I just dropped the fucking envelope right there. Like I screamed. I didn't know what to do. I didn't want to go back to the bedroom. Like my first instinct was just to rush to the door. I just had to get out of there. I dropped the money. I ran towards the door. I swing the door open to run out, and right there, standing in front of me in my doorway, was your mom.